My name is Rashard Tyson. I'm the CEO, owner, founder, whatever, WTV Channel 27. I love what I do. It's fun. I thought the best thing to do is just show you guys what I do real quick, better than telling you. So let's show you real quick. Let's see here. Let's start. Marion, Grant County, and everybody that's tuning in, let's go live. This was last night's broadcast. This live broadcast is brought to you by Shroud's Demolition Derby and the Manuel Grandstands at the 4H Fairgrounds. Friday, June 21st at 7 p.m. Tickets are $10 for the grandstand, $10 for the pit pass, $5 for kids ages 6 to 12 and 5 and under are free. There's 5 classes: autocross, 105 stock, 108 stock, full-size stock, and minivan stock. See you there. This is how I make my money.
Let's go.
Not explain
Okay,
that.
so I'm gonna have you meet me at Greenwood or Walmart when I pick up the medicine, so we can do that. All right? Dang it!
Don't worry about it. I can fix it. Phone screen starting at $99 and battery starting at $69.
Mention this ad and get this Moto E4 Lite for only $75. That's for
One of my biggest sponsors there.
Unique Wireless, 810 South Baldwin.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Channel 27 News. My name is Rashard Tyson, and I am reporting live. Now, today, we have a pretty good webcast lined up for you guys. I'll be bringing you the update from Sunday morning's fatal crash on State Road 37 and 50th Street. I'll also bring you this week's Crime Stoppers Crime of the Week. And then I'll get to talking. Let's see. Then I'll get to talking. This is some of the stuff that I go through. A video of what happened. Let's take a look. I'm going to have to break this down into 2 parts. Here we go.
We've been trying to do it for a whole hour and a half, but we still pushing it.
He wanted to crash a family cookout. He ended up getting arrested. I got the footage. Yes.
Don't try to be paid to kids. You out here doing all that? No.
Hey, for real, don't try to bro. Hey, like, let's bro, you know how I ride, bro. You know how to get, come on.
And it's sad, don't do drugs.
I would never, that's why like this, look. Can I get this right here?
No, what are you doing?
See how you just grabbing stuff off the
Be
porch?
thirsty. You
They about
There
to
for an hour and a half and wouldn't leave.
trying to save you from an election.
A little bit about my background. I've always been a creative person, one form or another, involved in music or acting, something creative my whole life since I was here. You know what I mean? I was working an old regular job a couple years ago, and a few of my coworkers were talking about, I'm from Marion, Indiana. Probably where all you guys are from. You probably got a TV station where you're from. Well, we don't. Where I'm from, we don't have a TV station. We have it now. You know what I mean? But we didn't have it. We didn't have news, no way for people to see what's going on in our community. So we was talking one day, we said, hey, why don't we just do the news? Because one of my goals and passions is filmmaking. But I was like, let's start with the foundation to get the community together, build our audience. Let's start with the news. So you know what? We started with the news. I forgot what it was that went on. And keep in mind, this is interesting, it's funny because I started doing the news I started my business with $420, I think, in the cell phone. And I mean, they used to talk about me, they used to bash me. There's some man in your front yard recording your news with a cell phone. You know what I mean? And they were laughing and joking, but this was I was real discouraged. And one of my good friends, he said, hey man, the best camera is the one you got. You know, because I was steady complaining about I didn't have a camera. How am I gonna do this without a camera? He said, you got an iPhone, don't you? That's one of the best cameras you can have. You know, so I bought the iPhone. I had the iPhone. The $400 and something went on a couple lights and the stabilizer for the phone, so it won't be so, my footage wouldn't be so wobbly. And I shot the news and it got like 14,000 views on it, like the promo did. And I knew right then and there I had something. So from there, I just kept going, and I already had the idea. Like how you saw the commercials running, that's how I eat. That's how I eat. That's how I get paid. That's how I pay the bills of the business, and that's how I pay the personal bills that I have at home. They have to pay me to come out, edit, shoot, edit it. You know, sometimes come up with the creative ideas for it. They have to pay me for that. And I'm reasonable, but I'm not cheap. I don't sell myself cheap anymore. I used to when I first started, but I had to understand, hey, bro, you got some value to yourself. Quit selling yourself short. So now I make them pay me. So I'm getting mad. You're gonna have to pay me, you know, because I'm from a small area. I have 29,000 people in my city. There's 69,000 people in our county. And on a slow week, I reach 30-something thousand of them. So that's more than a newspaper. I'm not exactly sure for the radio, but I think it's more than the radio. I have more subscribers to my Facebook page than cable people in my area. I want to get it right. Spectrum has 9,000 subscribers. AT&T U-verse in my area has 3,000. That's 12,000 subscribers. I have 16,000 something followers. So you want to get in on my audience, you're going to have to pay me. You know what I mean? Question?
Do you podcast?
No, I go straight to Facebook.
So that's
Just
how.
do it over Facebook.
I do it over
Okay,
Facebook.
okay. I didn't know that
What
they-
you just saw was
Okay.
direct,
Okay.
straight to Facebook. From my software in my home office. I have a home office, and then I have an office downtown, a little snazzy office on the second floor of 100 South. Which, you know, there's certain things that we got to do for people to feel like you're solidified. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, okay, I brag at home, I'm the #1 man in advertising. But with portals, we just got some billboards up because some people don't feel like you're real unless you have a billboard. So we got 2 of them, you know what I mean? Slap them up around town. And I've been working and they're taking me serious. And that's what I do. I like to communicate with people 2 ways. I don't want to just talk at you guys. So if there are any questions, well, make sure I ain't missing anything as I'm moving forward. I never wanted to be wage employed. Never, ever in my whole life. And that's something that people try to discourage me from. You know what I mean? I just had to do some soul searching and really figure out who I am, how I'm wired as a person. Wage jobs aren't for me. I've had some good jobs, you know, in my life. Good factory jobs, nice paying factory jobs that people will really, you know, kill to get, love to have, and I walk away from it. Because while I'm on these jobs, messing with these parts, I'm thinking about something creative that I need to be doing. My mind, my heart's not in it, so I walk away from it. So it's not me. It's not me at all. I'm depressed.
Okay.
Do I look depressed? Yes, no, I'm depressed. I'll tell you about my background. I served 10 years in prison for dealing drugs. Illegal entrepreneurship. So I had 10 years while I was in prison to figure out how to take all my skills that I have in getting money on my own illegally, how to take that same skill set, polish it up a little bit, and make it marketable out here in a legitimate real world. And I guess my depression comes from what they tell me. I guess anybody who's locked up 10 years consecutively, you're gonna be depressed. You're gonna experience things, you know. Lost my mother while I was there. Couldn't hug nobody, couldn't go to the funeral, couldn't be around my family. Just 10 years, you know, everybody that you had that was your friends and in your corner, that all fades away. So yeah, and I think what fits, you know, my disability, my depression, I get depressed when I have nothing to do but just sit and think. then I guess I depress
We were
myself.
just talking about that.
So
today.
I guess this right here, that I never get a chance to sit and think, I'm good. I guess this is medicine for me, I guess. They've even invited me to go back to the prisons. Ooh, that was hard for me.
I bet.
It was nervous walking back in there. I'm like, hold on, it's a trick. When they get me in here, they're gonna lock me in here and I can't get back out. You know what I mean? I said, I ain't did nothing. Ain't no old warrants can ready pop up or nothing, is it? You know what I mean? So, yes, I love to speak and help motivate people, tell my story, and help inspire people. I love to do it. I can do it all day long. Kathy? No, because I don't know in my area, but I promote like whoever comes to me. Like I do like right now, I'm doing a lot of promoting, advocating for children with autism. You know, whoever comes to me in the community, like, hey, Rashard, they have no clue that I'm depressed. You know what I mean? They have no clue at all. But they all know about my history. They all know what I've been through. I was very open about that in the beginning because I knew later on as I was gaining success, somebody would come back and try to use my past to tear me down. Matter of fact, they just tried it a couple of weeks ago. And I said, no, we've already been through this. I already talked about it. I already told everybody, still no. Nice try. Come back with something else. And they really tried to use my past to tear me down. But yes, whoever comes to me and it's something, you know, that don't go against community standards or, you know, positivity, I promote it. I promote it. We might even come out. I might even bring my camera out, do a story, do an interview, and put it up. Because, you know, I do positive stories. I do a lot of crime stories. Because, you know, I'm sorry. You see, that was interesting. Everybody likes to watch this, engage, and keep the views up. And that's what I got to do to keep the sponsors happy. Voc Rehab, oh my goodness. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it. When I think about it, I kind of get emotional, my eyes water up. First, let's just put some money out there. Voc Rehab gave me $30,000 grant to continue my business. That's what they did. What Voc Rehab did, they made me, along with Portals, those people are amazing, for real. You guys helped me realize stuff. You know how like you don't realize what you know?
Yeah.
And it takes somebody to bring it out of you. They did that for me. They helped me come up with a budget and a plan, a business plan, how to take my business to the next step. And they funded that. My little snazzy office I just bragged about, them, between VR and Portals. And the way it happened was I went, I don't know how, I approached VR for a job. Not a job for them, but to help me find a job as an office manager. You know, and we went through the process or whatever, had to get myself evaluated, whatever. Okay, I'm depressed, I qualify, we can go. So I knew while I was in prison, I took an office manager apprenticeship, you know. 2 years of classroom work, over 3,000 hours on-the-job training as an office manager. So, but my area, my background, covered in tattoos, nobody was really gonna let me run their office, right? So I had my caseworkers. I'm running them to death. Well, we can't find, will you take McDonald's? No, I won't take McDonald's. Will you take a, no, I'm an office manager. I want an office management position. They couldn't find it. So one day I had been with them for like a little over a year, and Susan brought me in. Her name's Susan Gray. Love her to death, because she's the one that saw this. I was doing this a little bit, right? So she pulls me in. She said, hey kiddo, we've been looking hard for you for a job. You're intelligent, you're articulate, you got everything together, but we just can't find you an office position, honey. We just can't do it. But I've been watching your news. They said, all the girls in the office, we've been watching your news. And we're seeing commercials. Do you have sponsors now? I said, yes. She said, are you supporting yourself off this pretty much? I said, yeah. She said, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. I can't get you a job. You had to get off my caseload. But let us help you fund your business. Let us help you fund your business. She said, I'm going to have to to kick you off my caseload and put you on somebody else's. And I believe it was Stephanie Welcher, and got me signed up and everything. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, yeah, right. Nobody's gonna give me nothing. And it took about a year for the process to go through. Calls, meetings, a lot of time on the phone with portals and everything. And a lot, and you know, a lot of that period, I thought it was a loan. I really thought it was a loan. Then I'm getting toward the end to find out it was a grant. I just started crying, like, for real. And we had it broke down to the T, and we're just now finishing up the last stages of the grant, you know, and they helped me map it out, what I need to get to this phase, what I need to get to this phase. They're very supportive, and they helped me change my life. I have able to support my children. Just purchased a house in May. Yes, 4-bedroom, 2-car garage. It's nice. It's nice. Nope. Now, I'm not against YouTube. I'm not anti-YouTube. I guess I'm going by my area, my audience. I'm not talking down on where I'm from, but we're slow. We're a lot behind, right? So where I'm from, we're on Facebook. I put some material on YouTube before, but it didn't get the traffic. Matter of fact, I shot a documentary, a docu-series on heroin addiction. I actually got in the trenches and I followed a heroin addict around for a day as she was going through withdrawals, trying to wean herself off of it, as she went to go find a little bit to use till we could get her to rehab the next day. Okay, it was very gripping, very shocking documentary, shot with my cell phone and my little stabilizer I had at the time. I put it on YouTube. I'm watching the views and said, hold up, nobody's watching it. It's not getting a lot of people. I know something like this, I know I should have thousands of views already. So I snatched it off of YouTube, put it back on Facebook, and it took off. It's just, Facebook is what's working for me. You know, YouTube might work for you or somebody else, but the platform that has worked for me took off. It hasn't been Instagram. I got Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, but Facebook is what's working for me. And so that's what I'm sticking with. But, you know, I got a little secret in the bag just in case anything goes wrong with Facebook, so I'll be able to keep going. Facebook is where I'm reaching a lot of people at. And then if you do the numbers, let's take my area out of it. The average adult, and I had to learn this, is the selling point when I sell advertising. Because I go to the businesses to sell advertising. Oh, it was really hard at first when I walk in with my cell phone. I'm gonna shoot a commercial for you. What that? No, I had one guy got mad when I showed up with it. I paid you $400 and you're gonna shoot me a commercial with that? I said, sir, just let me shoot it and I'll show it to you. By the time I showed it to him, he said, because I did just as good a job with the cell phone as I do a camera. But what was I getting at? I was getting somewhere.
Were you content in staying?
Yeah, staying with I want to grow. I want to spread out. And I think when I do the creative stuff, like shooting mini-series and stuff like that, every time I shoot a mini-series, there's something that transcends just my area. I'm going to grow and spread out. Now, I've shot a mini-series already, and I'm getting ready to take off and shoot my second one in, I think, like 2 weeks. The average adult spends 2.5 hours a day on Facebook. Now, I think us out here working and everything, we don't watch 2.5 hours worth of TV. Most of us, by the time we get through working, taking care of homes, kids, running errands, when we lay down at night, we turn the TV on to watch us. That's about it. So the average adult spends 2.5 hours every day on Facebook, and I had to learn that, to sell myself as commercials. Facebook is where people are at, so that's where I'm at. I mean, people used to try to be too sticklers about that. Media is covered. You're covered by the First Amendment. You can film anything, anybody in a public place. A lot of people used to try to tell me, well, you didn't give me no release form. You can't put me on the news. Sue me. you have the right to film, as long as somebody's not anywhere, the way the law is worded, as long as somebody's not anywhere where they have an expectation of privacy, a bathroom, their own home. But if you're out in the public, you're interacting with the police, you're walking on a public street, me or any of you got the right to film. That's why, like, a lot of times there's scenes I show up to, used to. I'm glad that I got a good relationship with law enforcement now. But at first, because of my past history, my past history, and they didn't know where I was coming from. They didn't know if I was trying to bash them and make all cops to be out bad. So a lot of times they didn't want me there. Back up, you gotta leave. No, sir, I have a right. I got a First Amendment right to be here. I'm sitting right here. I'm not in your way. I'm back. You're on video, matter of fact. I'm filming. And you can film. And then now that they see where my heart is at, they see that I really love the community, that I'm trying to be positive, I'm trying to change, and that I will report both sides of the story and everything. Hey, now they welcome me. They welcome me. They're kind of, sometimes they're happy when I'm there with the camera. Yes. Not, I'm gonna say not solely, but with the help of them. Hashing it out on the phone. Tom, that dude is amazing. I wish he was here. He brung it out of me. He'd bring it out of me. He would bring the answers out of me. Me and Tom spent hours on that phone bouncing ideas around. And hey, I view that dude as a friend. That dude, I'm gonna take it for that dude's a brother to me, for real. He really helped me, and if it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd have been able to get the grant. When I was in prison for my first sentence, Voc Rehab was on a resource sheet.
Okay.
And I knew about them. Matter of fact, the first time I came home from prison, I wanted to go to school to get my real estate license. I signed up for Voc Rehab. It was taking kind of long for them to come through, so I did what I felt I needed to do to get the money to go to real estate school. And I was in real estate school, got a real estate license, and didn't have the right connections I needed. Had to keep doing illegal stuff to fund my real estate career until I got in trouble and sent away again. But this time I came back with a lot more patience. 10 years will make you patient, if anything else. You know how to wait. You know what I mean? So I waited, was patient, and went through the whole process, and it still is very humbling. It's still amazing to me because I'm standing right in front of you, and I can tell you, Voc Rehab portals changed my life. It's changed my family's life, and very grateful for it. I knew when I got to doing my news, it was just, they say I got a great business intuition. I knew the way I was gonna have to make money was advertisements, commercials. I knew that's where the money was gonna come from. So I knew once I put this content up here, which everybody wants to see is the news, I got all these viewers, shoot, I'm gonna slide a couple commercials in between some of this content. And people see it. There's businesses, Shrouds Auto and Towing. My family, we're driving about 3, 4 Shrouds vehicles maybe. That commercial where she dropped the cell phone. They take care of about 3 cell phone lines for me, hotspots. I knew I would be able to leverage my audience once I built it up. And like far as to help your business, you have to be engaging sometimes. You got to figure out how to engage your audience, and it's hard to fill them out, what they think is catchy, what they don't, what they want to see, what they don't. You just have to pay attention. First got started, and occasionally I gotta go beat down the door. Hey, I'm Rashard Tyson. What, you haven't seen it? Well, here, look. You see there? Here go my followers. Advertiser, all they want to know is how many people do you reach?
That's right. What's in it for me?
Yeah.
And it's local.
And it's local. So when you think our city is 29,000, and I can pop up on my phone and show you my Facebook where I'm reaching 30-something. Oh, he got the city covered. And they get the checkbook out. Now, it's to the point they call me. calling me, because I'm constantly out there now. They're calling me, hey, Rashard, you got room for me? I got people I was messaging before, they want, no, we don't want your regular, we want your prime. We want to be in all the intros. How much does that cost? I got to be in the intros. They come to me now. Getting up in and out all times of the night. I don't, if my dispatcher, I have a dispatcher now, if she calls me 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, she call me, Rashard, put your running shoes on. Where am I going? All right, you're going to the 700 block or West 5th Street. There's been a shooting, there's 2 victims, then they're chasing somebody else across Western through such and such, but get here first and I'll call. All right, I'm gone. Fast I get off the phone, fast I get there. Get off, and it's weird, I get there, I'll pull up, I'll put my earpiece in my phone, I'll call her back, hey, I'm here, what are you hearing on the scanner? And I'll start shooting the footage. I can see kind of what's going on, and I'll start shooting the footage. And she might say, hey, are they leaving? I say, yeah, come on, they're pulling off. Okay, because you know what? They found the guy who they're looking for on 9th Street. Hurry up and get there. Okay, I'm there. I'm going to get him.
Okay, I gotta cut you off.
All right.